Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Wednesday, May the 30th. Well, yesterday, Arkansas became the only state in the country which effectively, by law, bans abortions by medicine. That is the two-pill process that allows women to terminate pregnancies in the first 10 weeks of pregnancy. It's an utterly safe procedure, but a law was passed that threw up a hurdle requiring a contract with an outside doctor with hospital admitting privileges for the 3 clinics that provided medical abortions to continue to do so. No doctor will sign up to be the referring physician because he fears retribution from anti-abortion forces. This isn't a safety issue, it's an extortion issue, essentially. Well, in any event, Planned Parenthood filed a hurry-up motion yesterday in federal court, as said they would, to ask for another hearing from Judge Christine Baker. What happened yesterday was the Supreme Court declined to take up an interim order trying to get a ruling that indeed the Arkansas law is identical to the one in Texas that put a similar restriction on abortion providers there, and the Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional. Here there's an 8th Circuit ruling that says there needs to be more testimony in Baker's court about precisely how many women are affected by this law change. We know that last year 500 women had medical abortions in Arkansas, and they no longer can get them, and it's a safe procedure. They now must wait and get a surgical abortion, which it carries more complications, harder, more expensive to obtain. But that, of course, was the idea. There's one remaining abortion provider in Arkansas currently, a medical clinic that provides surgical abortions. Well, elsewhere, the backers of the new RiverFest, which took over, a private operator that took over this year after a nonprofit organization shut down after 40 years last year, said that attendance wasn't as what they'd expected. They'd hoped for 10,000 people a day. They didn't get that, but they said they had a late start, and they say they're still planning to try again next year. We shall see how that goes. If you're interested in reading on schools and school choice in Arkansas, take a look at arkansasblog.com. I've got an extensive report on something I mentioned yesterday, and that's lawsuit filings in federal court in El Dorado, in which Camden, Fairview, Lafayette County, and Hope school districts are trying to get an exemption from the school choice law. All are flooded with applications by white students trying to leave predominantly black school districts. The state says that's just okay. The school districts say we're returning to the discredited freedom of choice and choice resegregation policies of the 1960s, and of course that's exactly what we're doing. Speaking of public schools in Arkansas, the State Board of Education today is going to meet this afternoon, later after this is being taped, and talk about changes in school accreditation rules that has some people unhappy. The Arkansas Press Association says, for example, that a curriculum change that ends a lot of required individual courses shouldn't drop journalism, for one. They're dropping physics as a required course. They're dropping instrumental music as a required course. Schools can, and some still will, provide these things, but they'll have a way to opt out. This is going to be more flexibility for school districts, the state says. A lot of people fear it's going to water down schools in the end result. One thing that's caused some concern by education organizations is a provision that seems to allow state takeovers of school and turning them over to private organizations outside of Democratic control. We in Little Rock know that's not necessarily a good thing. Here's news on the political front. Lara Trump, the daughter-in-law, of Donald Trump, is going to be the keynote speaker at the state Republican Party's fundraiser in late June in Little Rock, Arkansas. Not exactly Trump territory, I should say. Wonder if the Trump family will take a cut from this. They generally look for ways to enhance their own pocketbooks while helping others. Well, I made my 26th annual trip to Arkansas Boys State at UCA yesterday, and I'll just leave it with this. They seem to like Donald Trump, and that's enough said about that, I suppose. And finally, this one small piece of good news, the National Spelling Bee, which has become a very popular contest, is underway in the Washington area this week. 3 Arkansas contestants haven't made the finals, I'm sorry to say, but here's some news on a past winner that does have an Arkansas connection. If you saw the 2002 documentary Spellbound about the contest, you saw one of the key actors was Nupra Lala, a Tampa student who won the spelling bee competition in 1999. Well, guess what? Last week she got her MD degree from where? The University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences. She's going to get a residency in neurology. And so that's some good news to end the day. There's still a lot of bad news out there for you to resist, and I urge you to do so. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.